How's it going, people? I'm Zephyros, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a video on GR2 stage 24, but all the principles that I show you and all the kind of strategies I use, you can use the same ones for stage 23 and stage 22, just with much lower gear requirements, so it should just be easier to do. All right. So with that all being said, let's get into it. Now, before I show you guys the run, couple of things that I think are worth mentioning. So the first thing, obviously, I have really high awakened heroes, right? And I can only use the heroes I've got. Um, but so many of the heroes are interchangeable. This is by far the most forgiving of the three gear aids when it comes to gear requirements and awakening requirements. My DPS units are Ardea and Valk, right? You don't need to use Ardea and Valk. Um, Mine are obviously like A5, Ardea, A5, Valk, but you could use Valderon, you could use Arrogance. Lubu's a really good replacement if you happen to have Lubu. Anyone who's just capable of doing that kind of AoE, ideally like the special units that can kind of overcome this, like Ardea, but magic damage is actually quite good against these mobs. So you can replace those, like even Emiric technically to a lesser degree, but yeah, technically Emiric. Like I said earlier, Lubu's really good. I haven't tried it with Wukong, but I reckon you probably could with Wukong as well. Like they are really interchangeable. Um, and like in place of Valk, you could use. I'm sure you could actually use Eris as well because he does do a fair bit of damage. But yeah, the reason I prefer fighters over platform units is fighters just have a much higher HP pool, right? So you it's a lot easier to just keep them alive. Sulker does not need to be in this lineup, right? Sulker, you could switch him for Twin Fiend, for example. You don't even need to place him. This is more just to make your Fersi and your Aelin just tankier. Just again making it easy for them to survive, easier for them to survive. Haas, you could technically sub out for Isolde, um, because Isolde also throws up shields and she also has damage reduction, to make it easier to keep Eloin alive. I've not tested it, but I don't see in principle why you couldn't. Right? Stage 24 might be pushing it a little bit, but stage 23, stage 22, I would fully expect you to be able to sub Isolde in there, right? Brokir does not need to be there. You can use any other tank who's just a good enough tank to survive the hits, basically. Volker, Volker again, replaceable. She doesn't need to be in this lineup, but she just makes things a bit easier. So with that all being said, I'll kind of show you the run, and then I'll show you the builds that I used afterwards as well. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to place down your Sadie, and then you can place down Aelin and Haas and Brokir. To be honest, the order that you place these four in doesn't really matter. They're all going to be up in time. I'll just play Sadie first, just so that she's ready when she's ready to ult when the first kind of golem shriek happens. So this primitive golem is going to come out. He's going to do a massive golem shriek. So you're going to do Sadie to just limit how much damage he actually does. Once that's done, you're going to place Ardea over here, and then there's going to be an Earthshake here. So you're going to activate Aelin and drop Eloin as soon as you can. Right, so fairly straightforward. Put it back on 1x now. Right, so next you're going to get another Earthshake. So Elwyn won't be up just yet, so I just activate Fersi here, and then activate Elwyn. You don't really need the extra heals from the sprite for this Earthshake, so I just leave it as is. Next, another Golem Shriek's coming, so we're going to activate Sadie, and this time you're going to activate Haas as well, because his A1 Awakening throws a massive shield that's going to keep Elwyn alive, okay? Next we'll throw up the extra DPS to help Ardea just whittle these mobs down. So another Earthshake's coming, so I like to kind of wait a little bit here, just let a little bit of damage happen and then trigger Aylin's ult. Just so that she's kind of ulting when the biggest damage happens, because these guys will start throwing rocks at her as well. Right, so next Earthshake is happening. So we're going to wait a little bit for the ults. And then I'm going to place a sprite down. Then I'm going to trigger here. I'm going to trigger Broke here just to give a little bit of extra cover. Activate Valk and use Percy to just insta heal people back up again. All right. Once the ults are out, we're gonna just place another sprite just to quickly heal everybody up, and pretty clean there. So we should be all right. So next Golem Shriek is happening. Activate Sadie. Activate Haas. That will just keep everybody alive, and we're golden. All right. These guys are just going to carry on just slamming these mobs just to make sure that the tanks don't get overwhelmed. So the next Earthshake is happening. So again, I like to hold off a little bit on the damage and then activate Aylin. She's just going to keep everybody alive for the time being. There, she nearly dropped off, but she was all right. Wait for another throw and do that. So they're going to insta heal her back up. Pretty comfortable there. So next Earthshake is going to come now. Again, we'll wait a little bit, and then we're going to activate Eloin. Wait to see where the damage is falling, and then you can put out another sprite just again to restrict how much damage is kind of being dealt there. So Aylin's dropped off there. Not ideal, but at the end of the day, not the end of the world. You would ideally want to keep her alive, but these guys will be fine now, even without her. So we're going to wait for the next Golem Shriek now, okay? So now we're going to activate Sadie, activate King Haas, and everybody's going to be kept alive, so no problems. So now you can always activate Brokir's ult if you're just a bit worried there. So now the golem's coming out here, so that we've not really got any problems here, okay? If you just feel like you need a few extra heals, you can always just drop one of the sprites, and these guys will just start slamming away now, so no problems there. Aylin's going to be back up soon as well, so no issues. So in a clean run, Aylin wouldn't drop off, but even if she does at that second point, it's not an issue, okay? Now at this point, you don't really need Percy, so you can drop him off, and you can put another damage dealer down. So I've got Sulker because he's just the Lord, so you could put Sulker down and start ulting and just start slamming away. Right, you can always activate your ultimates just to, if for whatever reason you struggle. You shouldn't really struggle, but you can always activate your ultimates anyway, and you're not going to struggle to keep anyone alive here. They're just going to slowly whittle them down. So if you can do without the extra death, you could actually bring another damage dealer instead of Volker, right? In this case, it just helped because it helped me bring Aylin back quicker for some extra heals as well, but you don't really need it. So you could bring a Silas, you could bring a Lady Alex, you could bring a Hex, just extra DPS just to kind of kill that boss quicker, right? So that's GR2 stage 24. In my opinion, like I said, the easiest of the 3 GR24s. But yeah, fairly straightforward. This gear raid is, in my opinion, the most kind of gear friendly, most forgiving in terms of gear, right? You just need to be able to tank. So let's go into what the actual builds are, right? So we'll start with Sulker. Sulker's build, you don't you don't even need to build him. In my first clear, I actually didn't even have him geared because I didn't put him down, right? But he's just in your typical kind of soulbound arcana attack, 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 right? Fairly straightforward, nothing special because you're not really placing him for anything big. Fercy, I built Fercy tanky, right? So I built him with about 30, just under 38k HP. So I didn't care about the attack bonus stack. Obviously, I managed to get some in here, but the main thing is just HP, and then attack, attack, attack here. Right, so a healing effect with a HP substats. But all of these, he's just built to be able to tank. So as long as you can get him to like above 35k, he should be able to tank, right? If you're finding it's still dropping off, just pump in a bit more. Like so here, I could have easily pumped in a bit more HP. Ailin, she needs to be built tanky as well. It's the same thing. I've got mine at 30, just under 37k. Literally everything is going to be HP. So HP here, HP there, HP as a main stat with an attack bonus kind of substat, then attack speed just so she's kind of pumping out. So here, built her at 600 speed, right? And then attack bonus. Fairly straightforward. Eloin. Eloin, I've built her with some HP substats. So she is at about 34k HP, but with the Light's Grace. So here, HP substat with attack bonus, attack speed, healing effect. So really good piece for a healer. And again, attack, healing, attack speed. Here, attack bonus with a HP substat, attack speed, attack bonus, attack. So you could actually technically pump in a bit more HP, but obviously she didn't die. She didn't need the extra HP. Again, she didn't need the extra. Sorry, I've got HP main stat here, which is how I get her to this point here. And then attack bonus, attack speed, raid regen, just so she's ulting quick enough, right? In terms of the artifacts, I'm using Tyre's Balm on Eloin. Pretty sure I'm using a Tyre's Balm on, yeah, on Aelin as well. I'm using a Euphoric Orb just to give a little bit of extra speed on to all of my heroes. Volker, Volker barely gets placed, so you don't really need to worry. My Volker is just as standard built as a tank, right? So like 86k HP. She's just built to take a hit, right? So she's not a DPS, but if you wanted just to kill that boss a bit quicker, you could technically place Volker and make Volker just super tanky, right? Don't even remember where my Volker is. Oh, there she is. Right, next, King Haas. King Haas and Brokir. My King Haas isn't even fully skilled. You don't really need him skilled up like that. But yeah, he's just built tanky. It's 110k HP, so Tempered Will just to reduce how much damage he takes. And then if obviously if you've got the Astral Guardian, perfect, but Immortal Warrior is more than good enough for him. Okay. Um, why does it keep deselecting my heroes when I'm placing this? A bit weird. And then Ardea is just built as a DPS, right? So quad attack, quad attack, quad attack, incredible weapon, incredible chest, right? She's just full attack. No HP. The HP that's there is just from her chest piece. No HP substats. You do not need it. Just go full whack attack, right? Because that's all that's needed. Sadie, again, she just needs to be tanky. She's obviously a HP based healer, so she is naturally crazy tanky. 48k HP, no issues there. Doesn't need much attack speed. I built her in raid regen, so my pieces will be raid regen, raid regen, raid regen, raid regen, raid regen, just so that she gets her ultimate back quick enough. And so you're not like kind of struggling to get her up quick enough when the boss comes out as well. Although I don't even think you need that much rage regen to be honest, but I've just put it in there because I can. Val, same thing. She's got some HP in there, which is why even when Alien dropped off, Valk was comfortably just doing enough damage. I've got her in a Wailing Skull. She does not need to be in a Wailing Skull at all. You can put so many different artifacts. You could put Eye of Sin on her. You could even use her ultimate, her exclusive, just to give her a bit more tankiness. You could use Realm Tear. Yeah, you could use most of these, to be honest. Even if you want her a bit tankier, again, survivability, you could put Key of the Forsaken in here as well. Then Brokir, again, Brokir is built tanky. Same as King Haas, all right, just as tanky as you can get. And I've put Bastion Ring, so there's Bastion Ring on both King Haas and on Brokir, just to get as many blocks as possible. Okay, so that's the builds. I think, sorry, I didn't show you Aylin's. I've got her in her exclusive. Um, do you need it? Not really, to be honest. You could easily put one of a golden scarab. You could put anything on her. You could even put a euphoric orb just to speed up your heroes again. Um, but yeah, I prefer to use this just because it gives a bit of extra healing and reduces how much damage they take once her ultimate finishes. So yeah, that's the build. In terms of who's replaceable, Brokir, you could put any kind of tank, to be honest. You could, you can't. Sadie for me is so important here, just because when the Golem Shriek comes out, she just single-handedly handles that attack, right? So there's no issues. Um, King Haas, you could technically you could do it with Isolde, um, because I'm pretty sure Isolde reduces the amount of damage. So you should be able to, if you time it correctly, she should shield and reduce damage and keep Elwyn alive. Because that's the main reason for me, King Haas A1, right, is that massive shield that gets thrown up. So it's super useful, but you could technically do Isolde as well and still manage it. Um, but obviously King Haas makes it a lot easier, to be honest, right? So he's replaceable. Obviously Solka is not needed at all here, like not even in the slightest. You could bring anybody else. I like Solka just because obviously he boosts the stats of Fercy and Aelin, just makes them a bit more tanky, gives them a bit more survivability. But Twin Fiend would do exactly the same thing, right? He would still boost these guys more than well enough, so no issues there. So you could bring Twin Fiend as well. Um, if you can make your alien tanky enough and your Fercy tanky enough, you could just bring anybody, any extra damage dealer, just for that final bit. Once you've handled all the waves and survived all the boss attacks, you then bring in a damage dealer, take out Fercy, and bring in a crazy quick damage dealer to deal with the boss. So he's replaceable. Elowin, I think Elowin is really good just because she brings everybody's ultimates up quick enough. Volker, if you do end up dropping off a hero, just means that you can bring them back quicker. So she is replaceable, but also quite useful. So if you've got her, brilliant. Obviously, she's a free to play hero, so use her, make the most of her. So yeah, that's Gear Age 224. Obviously, if you want to know about any kind of alternative heroes or want to see any particular runs, just drop a message below or drop me a message on Discord, because then I can actually send you a video of what you're looking for. Okay. So yeah, I've been Zephyros. Hopefully, catch you guys soon. Stay blessed.